All right, let's add some more buildings to our city. It would be a pretty boring city if it only had one building. So the first thing you want to do is determine where's the front of the next building. So this was the front of our first building, building 1 we'll call it. So let's make the front of our next building. So all we need to do is draw a rectangle. So the front of this building is actually going to cover some of building 1. Again, really important to make sure that each edge of the building is either perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical. So you can see this building is a little bit bigger, and that's because it's getting further away from the vanishing point. So I've got my rectangle here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine where the side of the building is. So I'm going to go from my corner, my top corner, to my vanishing point. Now you can see that if I continue this converging line, it's going to go through this building. So I'm actually just going to stop right there before it goes through the building. And if I try and go from the bottom corner here to the vanishing point, hopefully you notice I don't need to do anything because that line's already there. That's my sidewalk line. Okay? Now I need to determine where the side of the building ends. I'm going to make this one a narrow building. So I'm lining up my ruler to the edge that's closest to my vanishing point, sliding it closer to the vanishing point, drawing a vertical line, making sure that vertical line is parallel to the edge or to the edge of the page. Now I've got this building, it's kind of see-through, right? So we need to erase building 1 from inside of building 2. Okay, we can also erase the horizon line. I'm going to switch erasers here so I don't go outside of my lines. All right, and I can also erase the edge of that converging line there because I ended my building already. I don't need the rest of that converging line. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. So there we have 2 buildings. Let's make a third. So again, determine where's the front of this building going to be. It doesn't really matter where. You could have it be even further over. Maybe you don't want it to cover any of the other building that you've just drawn, or building 2. So here this one's going to start to get big. Okay, again, each time I'm drawing a piece of the building, I'm making sure it is completely vertical on the side and completely horizontal on the top and the bottom. Okay, now my converging lines. So from the corners that are closest to the vanishing point, converging line. But again, this converging line will go through this building, so I'm going to stop right before it goes through the building. Okay, and if I do the bottom edge, I don't really need to because it is the edge of the sidewalk. Now I need to determine where this building ends. So I line up my ruler to the edge that's closest to the vanishing point. I slide it over wherever I'd like the building to end. So the side of this building is going to cover part of building 2. And draw a vertical line. Again, we have a see-through building here, which we don't need. So we're going to erase building 2 from the inside of building 3. We can also erase the horizon line. And then we can erase that extra little piece of the converging line that we don't need anymore. We just needed that to create the top edge of our building. We've got 3 buildings here. Let's make 1 more building. All right, so this building, we'll have it be almost taller than the page. So eventually I'll have to erase my name, but we'll say that the top of this building ends at the top of the page. So it's a big one. Okay, we're also going to imagine that the edge of the building ends beyond the page as well. So we can't see where the right edge of the building is, and that's fine. So we're going to go from the top of our building and the bottom of our building to the vanishing point. Now, the top of the building, you could imagine, goes all the way off the edge of your page. It could go a couple inches up beyond the edge of your page. So I'm going to imagine that, and I'm going to make my converging line accordingly. So I'm going to imagine it goes just a bit above the edge of the page. I know you can't quite see. And then I'm going to draw my converging line. Now it's hard to draw this one because I'm not really connected to anything on my building, but I am still connected to the vanishing point, and that's what's important. Oops, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that converging line and stop when I hit a building. So there we have it. Bottom edge, don't need to do because we already have our sidewalk line, and that's the same line. Now I need to determine where the building ends. So I'm going to line it up to the side that's closest to the vanishing point, slide my ruler over, and go ahead and draw a vertical line. All right, now I can erase the part of building 3 that can be seen through my new building, which is building 4. And again, I can also erase the horizon line. And I can erase that extra piece of converging line. All right, so I'm just going to darken up these buildings so you can see them a little more clearly because I've drawn the lines so dark, but I'm going to fast forward this part of the video.